What's up, guys? It's your man DX. Welcome back to the Elite DX channel. Will Smith is a candidate for the Simp of the Year. It's a little early in the year, but I think he can smash that. He also is a candidate for the Cuck of the Century. I think he has a good chance of getting that too. In this video, I will be explaining my prior short called Will Smith is a Broken Man. It's actually worse than that because I believe Will Smith is on the verge of having a breakdown. I will explain exactly what I meant in that video, and I will go step by step in explaining how Will Smith got to the point in his life where he is now. By the way, hit that like button, and if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. Also, comment in the comment section and share this on social media, okay? Now let's start kind of at the beginning. Will Smith met Jada Pinkett back in about 1994 when Jada Pinkett auditioned for a part on his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show. Since Will Smith is 51, at about that time he was around 24 years old, 23, 24. Now, this is a very crucial and especially vulnerable time in a young man's life because you're basically clueless, especially when it comes to women. And it's magnified if you're in the entertainment industry. He had gotten into the entertainment industry as a teenager, as a part of Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I think he was 17 or something like that. So when you're in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of people around. You don't get a lot of time to experience being around women or girls for a long period of time without somebody interrupting and just being able to peep game. So I think he was kind of naive still at 24. And so you have to understand that women in their early 20s as young women are given a cheat code about men. Everything they want to know about men, how to seduce them, how to keep them, how to manipulate them, and how to get what they want out of a man, basically. And some of them are even taught how to make a man act right, quote unquote. Men are not given any such playbook, right? So most men are out here having to figure out things by themselves when it comes to women. So in effect, he meets her, he hooks up with her, and she probably put it on him real good and showed him some things that he probably hadn't seen or felt before. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And she probably was more experienced than him, even being 3 years younger than him, because remember at that time in 94, she was already into a friendship, probably an entanglement with Tupac. Jada had known Tupac Shakur since the 1980s. They met when they were both teenagers and attending the School of Performing Arts in Baltimore, Maryland. So before Will Smith even entered the picture, Jada had already had a pretty extensive and long-lasting relationship with Tupac Shakur, right? And that's who she really probably wanted to be with. And so anybody who knows anything about Tupac can probably imagine that he didn't care that much about women, her or any other one, because he was out there doing his thing. He probably gave her that thug passion and put it on her in the bedroom a couple of times, and she was feeling it. But Tupac was known to hang out with a lot of ladies, including Left Eye from TLC. And he basically was like, yeah, that's my friend, she's okay, but he didn't want to be with her like that. So in effect, Will became the second choice. And that's the crux of the issue. Now, anybody who sort of followed Will Smith's rap career knows that he has the goody-goody, good boy vibe to his type of raps, and he's no Tupac. Tupac had that rough vibe, gangsta thug mentality. And Jada, like a lot of women, most women, want a guy who's authoritative, a guy who is not going to do everything they say, a guy who's on his own stuff. You know what I'm saying? And is not really worried about her. Now, in 1994, even though she was established as an actress, Jada was not as big a star as Will Smith or Tupac Shakur. She had been on a show called A Different World, which was a spinoff from The Cosby Show, and she had a role in the 1993 movie Menace to Society. She had also landed a minor role in the 1994 Keenan Ivory Wayans movie, A Low Down Dirty Shame. Tupac had already starred in a movie with Janet Jackson called Poetic Justice. Will Smith had already been featured in a few movies as well. In 1992, there was the movie Where the Day Takes You, and in 1993, 6 Degrees of Separation and Made in America. Now, for those of you who are not old enough to remember, the 1990s was a defining decade for the rap music industry. And by the mid-90s, Tupac and Will had already had major success as rappers, and a whole lot of rap dudes were making the transition over to acting. So both of these guys, Will and Tupac, were on a trajectory to become major mainstream crossover stars. And at least one of them would make it. Tupac wouldn't, unfortunately, because he would end up dying in 1996. So 1996 turns out to be a pivotal and very interesting year in this situation. And it was a big year for Jada as she landed a couple of starring roles. She starred with Eddie Murphy in his remake of the movie The Nutty Professor, and she also landed a starring role in the movie Set It Off with Queen Latifah, Vivica A. Fox, and Kimberly Elise. Now, Set It Off was the story of 4 black women, lifelong friends who grew up together, who decided to start going out and robbing banks in order to get that bag. And Jada played a pretty hardcore role in this movie. Now, since Jada didn't grow up in this hardcore street type of lifestyle, she had to draw inspiration and get mentorship and guidance from somewhere. And I believe she got that guidance on how to play this role in this movie from Tupac. At this point in 1996, Jada has access to 2 of the most popular black men rapper/actors in the world. And even though she has her own burgeoning career that's taking off, women always want a relationship. And usually 99% of the time they select a relationship with a man who's more successful than them. That's just how it is. So she has 2 options. She has the bad boy thug from the streets who really doesn't want to be with her, and that's Tupac. That's her first choice. And she also has this nice guy, but he's really not the type that she wants to be with, and that's Will Smith. So a choice has to be made here. She has to lock one of these guys down. And unfortunately, fate would make the choice for her, because in September of 1996, Tupac is shot and killed in Las Vegas. Now, I believe that this was a hard dose of reality and a crucial turning point in Jada's life. And it probably took a long time for her to realize that, yeah, this is real. Tupac is actually dead and he's never coming back. And so Jada is forced to move on. She gravitates closer and closer to Will Smith. And a little over a year after Tupac dies, in December of 1997, Jada and Will decide to get married. Well, I can only guess, but I think that if Tupac had not been eliminated from the picture, this marriage between Jada and Will may not have ever happened. Now imagine what kind of a home life this becomes for Will Smith, knowing that the woman you married really would have preferred to be with another guy, the love of her life, but he passed away, and you are the second choice. Also with that, knowing that you're catching feelings for this woman, you care for her deeply, and you want to please her. And then knowing the dynamic of the relationship and that she is the one in control of the relationship and that she can bounce at any minute. It's like at-will employment. Your employer doesn't really have to tell you why they don't want you around anymore. They just tell you that you're done, and that's it. Now, when a woman realizes that she has this type of power over you, that's what sets you up for the manipulation and the mind games. And so Will Smith became just another extremely rich and extremely successful man who's not in control of his own personal life. And that's why I tell you guys that when you are dealing with women, you have to remain strong and always present your masculine frame. Because if you let them see that weakness in you, most women will exploit that weakness to have control over you. I believe that Will Smith has gone through 25 years now of feeling inadequate in his relationship, feeling like he's never doing enough to please this woman, and feeling like he's with a woman, Jada, who could dip at any minute and not care either way because she doesn't love or care for him the way he loves and cares for her. And then you add to that the fact that I'm sure he knows if she did decide to leave him or vice versa, he would have to give up half of everything that he's accumulated. Now keep in mind that over the past 25 years, Will Smith has maintained a pretty spotless image. He's never come out and disgraced his wife, and if he has ever had other women on the side, he's always made sure that none of that ever reached the public. He hasn't come out with it publicly, and he hasn't embarrassed Jada in any way. He seems to have a deep and lasting respect for Jada, which is more than one can say for her when it comes to him. It sounds like he's in a cult, the Cult of Jada. Now, I don't say all of this so you can feel sorry for him. I'm pointing all of this out because he's trapped in a situation that we as men should avoid at all costs. He is an example of how women treat simps, and an example of what women eventually do to all simps. And we can use him and all this mess as a very powerful tool to learn some valuable lessons. Well, that's the end of part 1. In part 2, we'll zoom all the way up into the social media era, wherein Jada starts to post details about her family, including Will, which ultimately leads to Will being placed on the path of self-destruction that we're witnessing as we speak. We'll also discuss what he needs to do to get out of this situation and also keep his sanity at the same time, and how you can avoid this situation in your own life. Thank you for taking the time to watch and or listen to this video. Let me know what you think about what I've said in the comment section below. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And everybody hit that reminder bell so you'll know when I drop a new video. You can go ahead and share this video on all social media, on any platform you would like to. It's all good. And if you want to support the channel so that we can grow, my Patreon, my Zelle, and my CashApp are both on the screen right here and in the description. So until next time, this is your man DX, and I am out.